Hey guys, it's Pastor Ian. As many of you know, our online service didn't work out exactly the way that we planned yesterday, but even with that being said, hopefully those of you who were able to catch it were encouraged by some of the stuff that we were able to share with you. And a few of you have already been playing the story charades game. There's still a few more hours to get on that. But the reason that I'm here with you today is because last night we had a couple of different kind of segments planned for our service that some students worked really hard on, and I wanted to show you guys those segments. I wanted you to be able to see for two reasons. One, because the students worked hard on them and they're really awesome, they're really cool segments, but two, because I want you guys to be part of these kind of segments in the future. We don't know how long we'll be doing online church or online students or whatever. So I want you guys to get some ideas, and maybe you can send some videos and be part of some of these segments. So there's three segments that we're going to share with you. The first one is something called Playlist. All right, yesterday Luke Williams did Playlist for us, or he recorded Playlist, and you're going to get to see it right now. But what the idea behind Playlist is to recommend three things that you suggest while we're all on kind of semi-quarantine, while we're kind of stuck in our houses, not really allowed to go too many places. I know a lot of you guys are still working on school and stuff like that, but beyond that, it could be, Luke went a little bit of a different direction with it, which I think is really cool. I'm excited for you to see his recommendations, but it could be things like music or movies, a YouTube channel, a TV show, a book, a board game, whatever it is, a video game. All right, whatever you're doing to kind of pass the time, what's your playlist in life as you kind of get through all of the difficulties that have come with this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. All right, if you want to be if you want to do a playlist, you can comment in this video or send us a message on Instagram or Snapchat or anywhere else. But check out Luke's recommendations for the very first version of Playlist.
My name is Luke. I'm just here to talk to you guys about some things that maybe you want to try to do over your 2 weeks break due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now is the perfect time to just try something that you haven't been able to get to. Just now is the perfect time to get around to that thing. Maybe you have that instrument lying around your house. Maybe you want to learn to draw. Maybe you want to learn how to sing. Maybe you want to pick up that Netflix or Hulu series, or even learn a new sport. Now is just the perfect time to try out that new thing. And I just also want to recommend that if someone recommends you something to do over your 2 weeks break, if you get bored, just do it. Try not to give yourself an excuse to be bored. Even if it's something you think you won't like, just try it. I don't think I'm going to like this, but I'm going to be trying out new genres of music. It's just something that you can try if you get bored. But, just have fun in the end. Just do whatever you want to do. And just enjoy your 2 weeks break, and I hope to see everyone back at Epic Student soon.
Like I said, Luke went a little bit of a different direction, but he still gave some really awesome recommendations. And if you've got some recommendations, some things that you think people might enjoy, let us know, and we will feature you on a version of Playlist in the future. The second new segment, I don't have an official name for this one. So today we're going to call it Student Perspectives. But it could have a different, better name. Maybe you have a better suggestion, put it in the comments below, or whatever. But this is it's the perspective of a student. Today you're going to hear from Alexis Nolan, one of our senior girls, about how she's kind of getting through the frustration and the aggravation and the difficulty and the uncertainty that comes with this pandemic that we're all living through, something brand new to all of us. So check out Alexis's perspective on the current reality.
My name is Alexis, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how I've been keeping Jesus through all this corona stuff that's been going on. So I know for me as a senior, it's very frustrating seeing so many things get canceled or postponed until a later date and having to cancel other things. So me personally, I've been frustrated, but thankfully I haven't been frustrated to the point where I'm worried about losing a loved one to this virus. But for me, how I guess I've been kind of seeing Jesus through this situation is I've been kind of worrying more about others' needs than myself, if that kind of makes sense. So I've been there as kind of a vessel to help other people than worrying about my own needs. So I guess seeing other people have that encouragement has kind of encouraged me to like not be super stressed out about this whole thing. Like obviously I'm still like upset about all the stuff that's been going on and like people making like irrational decisions and stuff like that. But I guess how I've been kind of seeing the light in this is I've been seeing the light through other people and how they've been happier throughout this whole thing. So yeah, bye.
Awesome. Thank you again, Alexis, for sharing your perspective. And again, if you have a perspective that you think would be valuable to other students, we want to hear from you. I don't want our Wednesday night online Epic Student stuff to be just me standing in front of a camera talking, even though that's what it turned into last night because of technical difficulties. Moving forward, we want this to be a partnership with all of us. We're working on some really cool game ideas, some fun kind of skits or games for you guys to watch and be entertained by in the future. But again, if you want to share your perspective, that's another segment that we're hoping to have every single week. If you want to be part of that, let us know in the comments or send us a message on one of our social media channels or even my personal phone number if you have it. All right? And then the last segment, the last thing that we want to share with you is not a brand new segment because we actually started it the last Wednesday that we were able to meet together. It's called 3 Minutes With. All right, it's this interview segment where we sit down with a student leader or maybe a student and we just ask them some crazy questions and get to know them a little bit better. Well, yesterday we were kind of rushed, kind of trying to figure out what all was going on, and so we didn't have a student leader on the premises to interview. So we actually set up a really cool, really special interview between our own Gage Thompson, one of our senior guys, and the lead pastor of Epicenter Church, Pastor Mark Knight. And of course, because it's Gage and Pastor Mark, the 3 Minutes With went a lot longer than 3 minutes, but it's absolutely worth it. So check this out.
Yes, sir. So we're doing, you know how we're doing the 3 minutes with this or session, season, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. You answer them. We can joke around, have fun. All right.
All right, sounds good.
All righty. First question: what did you want to be when you were a kid?
Astronaut,
Astronaut,
cowboy,
cowboy,
football player.
all three? All
No, man, really, I wanted to be a baseball player. That
A
was
baseball player?
when I was a young kid. I wanted to be a baseball player. Yeah.
right. So did you have a favorite team back then?
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh
And
yeah.
I shifted and became an Atlanta Braves fan, and then I jumped ship on them and became a New York Yankees fan. I hadn't really jumped ship since then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then, man. I'm gonna hit you with the next question.
All right.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes,
And if
I
so,
do.
which one is your favorite?
Ooh. Well, that just depends on what day it is. Some days it's one of my. I got two brothers. I'm the oldest of three boys, and oh man, let me think. Do I have a favorite? I don't think I have a favorite, man. No, I don't have a favorite. I love them both, and sometimes dislike them both.
Hey, I can't complain. I got three sisters.
Yeah, you know how that
So, yeah. So, who do you root for
in what
in life?
in life. Who do I root for?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see. If I root for the underdog. I like the underdog story. I really like
Yes,
that.
sir.
And hence I don't pull for Detroit Pistons because I know they are historically the underdog. But I do like the opportunity to win, which is, Pastor Ian chooses a team that doesn't have an opportunity to win. So like for me, an underdog would be Carolina Panthers when it comes to football. NFL, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. But all in all, man, I just root for the underdog in life. I just think that that's the beauty of the story. And especially when it comes to even the Bible, man, the biblical story is how God used people who were less so that he could prove he was more. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. All right. I have to agree with you there, bud. I have to agree with you.
All right.
All right. So, next question. Who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
Oh man, let me think here. Who would I want to play me? Mark Wahlberg for the physique. and Brad Pitt for the look, maybe. Outside of that, man, I can't think of anybody else. That's
No.
just those two.
Well, I have to say, I think you do got the Mark Wahlberg physique. I got you. All right, man. So, who has influenced you most in your life?
Who has influenced me most in my life? Man, that's a group that's got on probably I can put those people on five fingers, one hand. Several of my mentors, Pastor Altman, who was a guy who really spoke into my life and became a great mentor. His son, who followed up with that same thing. A guy named Russ Lee, who convinced me that I could pursue ministry, and when I didn't think I really could for whatever reason. My parents, because I put my mom and dad in that list just because of the way they are, man. Faith people, hard workers, just always looking for the best in life. And I would say one, if not both, of my grandfathers, both of those were really heroes to me. And so that would probably be 6 people. So I might have to do that.
A high five and a thumbs up. There you go, buddy.
There you go, man. Yeah.
All righty, man. This question's a little. How would you explain the color blue to a blind person?
How would I explain the color blue to a blind person? I would tell them that it's one shade lighter than what they see all the time. Think about that. All they see is darkness.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's gray, bud. I think that's gray.
Yeah, I don't have a clue, man. I don't know how to even begin. Let's see. I could say, well, I can't do word pictures. That won't work. Let me think. How could I explain the color blue? Color blue. I don't have a clue. I mean, who wrote these questions? That's crazy. I
have no clue.
They have no basis for even any color. No, I'm done with that question. Let's move on to the next.
All righty. Since we got your blood pressure going a little bit,
Yeah.
how do you unwind and how do you sit down, chill?
Man, I'm just not one of those sit down and chill kind of people. So I just cut it off at the end of the day. I just go to bed at night late. And but if I were to sit down and chill, I would say probably if I had to pick something, it would be something outdoors, whether I was hunting or fishing or something like that. But for the most part, man, I kind of go as hard as I can all day and call it quits at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. So that wraps it up. So do you have anything else you want to let us know about you with these last couple seconds?
No, man, other than, you are the greatest person who's ever interviewed me, man. You're the greatest anchor. That's what we're talking. You're the greatest anchor. And I am one of the greatest people that you've ever had to interview. How about that?
Yes, sir. Speaking true facts, man.
No, man. No. I'm glad. This is cool, dude. This is cool.
Yeah.
Is that it?
All right, man. Yes, sir.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gage. Thank you, Pastor Mark. I'm so glad you guys got to see that interview because it was really fun to be part of. I was kind of standing behind the scenes. But once again, you probably guessed where we're going with this. But if you want to be part of 3 Minutes With in the future, if you want to be interviewed, if you want to be an interviewer, if you've got an idea for somebody that we should interview, let us know. You can put it in the comments below. You can send us a message on Instagram or Snapchat or text my phone number if you have it. If you don't have it, send us a message on Instagram or Snapchat and I'll send it to you. But you got to get the idea. We want you to be part of what's going on at Epic Students Online for the next several weeks. And I mentioned this last night. I'll say it again. Stay tuned to all of our social media channels because we're working on some group hangouts, whether it be through Zoom or Google Hangouts or some other stuff like that. We are working really hard to get that stuff to you guys, maybe as soon as tomorrow, but definitely no later than next week, to get the chance to hang out with one another in a group setting and have some cool conversations about life. So that's it. Those are all the ways you can get involved right now. If you want to share 3 recommendations for playlists, if you want to share your perspective on how you're kind of getting through this uncertainty and what God's showing you, or if you want to be part of 3 Minutes With, let us know in the comments or send us a message on one of our social media channels. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to see you in person soon, but online even sooner than that. Stay tuned for when our next video or content is coming out. I love you guys. I miss you guys. You're awesome. I'll see you soon.